and say this time around we just don't mess around in the mid game.
So what do you think is going to be picked up in the mid lane? Because last time we saw the Cassiopeia, which
first pick.
Yes, it spiked at the very end, but it was weird. Oh, that's a Braum ban.
Yeah, changing up the bans a little bit for Copenhagen Wolves. They banned Kalista before. They could first pick Kalista. I mean, that would be the obvious one.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise you let it go to Holy Phoenix. That's been his best pick.
Yeah, you have to first pick Kalista here.
Or Gragas.
Let's first pick Gragas.
So now this is Kalista Alistair, surely.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I think you can go Kalista, and you can still pick the Trundle away if you want that and go Kalista Trundle. If you value that higher. I mean, Kalista Alistar is fantastic. That's definitely not the case, but...
Do it.
I think Kalista Trundle if you want to take away from 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Then again, the Alistar has been pretty big for Cass. Like, he was been the main engagement, and then it was always follow-up from the Gragas to take down these carries in the back line, and Huma obviously played Gragas 2 games in a row now, and Rudy had good games on it.
Godbro here is saying, pick me Riven, and Holy Phoenix like shaking his head like, no, don't do it. Just pick up Trundle. Alright, lock it in. There's a Trundle and Kalista. I mean, why not, really? It's just interesting giving Holy Phoenix Kalista in this game. Could bring it to...
Wolves should take Alistar here.
Yeah, they have to. They have to take it here on this rotation. Then what else do they look for? The Corki has been working well for Kadril. Alistair Corki is a potential pickup here. You don't have to rush your AD carry either.
I think it's good.
You can also flex the Corki down, so there's a lot of options.
I think it's very solid. I think the Sivir Corki, the Copenhagen Wolves have been running, has been working well. They're both pumping out so much damage in these fights, especially Kadril on the Corki. So I think Corki Alistar here is super solid. And then for the last rotation, you take the Sivir and whatever potential counter pick you want for top lane. Unless you feel value in taking Nautilus early again, but Trundle is already there, so you know that Huma will most likely not pick the Nautilus.
Sure.
And if you don't take Alistar, there's a high chance it comes in, so maybe... They might think we want to counter it. Is it? No,
the same is even if you don't take the Corki, it goes to Godbro. Like there's almost no world in which Godbro doesn't pick up the Corki.
Interesting.
Alright, so this is basically the trifecta of tanks we've been seeing every series, but this time we'll also be picking up the Gragas, the Nautilus, the Alistar, beefy frontline. The rest of the question, the rest of the jigsaw pieces are what are going to be the big carries going for Copenhagen Wolves.
And Wolves have been standing for 10 minutes now backstage, talking about this pick and ban phase alone. Come in and say we're going to ban exactly the same, except for the last ban is Braum. Because we want to first pick something different, that's why the first pick Gragas, so they know Kalista is coming.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're okay giving up Corki as well, and Kadril has a potential counter pick ready, but nothing really counters Corki.
The only pick we've seen do well is Quit, and that's banned by the Copenhagen Wolves. So yeah, they are kind of conceding the Corki over at this point. If they don't, and they get the Corki in this situation, like Corki Sivir is almost an insta-lock here. Like, what else would you go for apart from maybe the TF for Kadril? Because that's not banned. It is his signature pick.
Maybe they're afraid of the lane against the Kalista Morgana, and they want basically we're gonna farm lane with Ezreal. But I think Sivir is... You can like just push it out with Sivir every time, but Ezreal is safer. Obviously, come in for them, so not opting in for them. We do get the Corki. Kindred as well. Kindred is a special jungler right now. Because it's been the Devour Kindred for the last 2 weeks or more.
Yeah, something like that.
Where we see like Devour Kindred almost every single game. And it has great scaling into late game. Early game though, the impact you have is kind of limited. Because your ganking is not that effective. And because you have Devour, you want to power farm more than anything. And like aim for Risk Scuttler and Dragon and these kind of objectives. And not necessarily snowball the game. So it's a very selfish pick for jungler.
There's a lot of flexibility though here. We actually don't know whether it's going to be top or mid or picking here. Morg could be support, could be mid. Trundle could be support, could be top. So there's a lot of options available. And it's going to be the mid lane. Okay, so that is the most logical one to be last picking here.
Right, so does that mean Morgan support now with Holy Phoenix?
Oh, yes.
And then, that will be LeBlanc mid lane. So Whirler goes into the top lane against Nautilus. Okay, makes sense.
So we are running, if we are Huma at this point, you know, super strong skirmish composition. 1-3-1 setup, some pick potential with the Morgana in there, and then some catch potential with Morgana, and then a ton of single target pick potential with like LeBlanc, with Kalista, even Kindred. Huma definitely is looking to just skirmish around the map. They are not looking for a straight up 5-on-5 team fight.
No.
against what Copenhagen Wolves is built.
And if they fall behind and they start running out of damage compared to the tanks now on Copenhagen Wolves, it's going to be a difficult game to find damage from somewhere. You've got to try and find the right fights. You will have the Kindred with Devourer, as you said, that later on in the game is going to be okay, but there's 3 tanks again in front of you.
I'm surprised that Huma takes a bit of a gamble in this pick and ban phase when they are down and they just won that one game. Copenhagen Wolves has clearly shown that they make a lot of mistakes as well coming in later in the game, and you can punish that. This comp here is putting so much focus on Huma being able to execute in the mid game, picking off these targets, because again the wave clear is awful in case they fall behind. The front line is right now basically just a Trundle on his own. That's it.
But it's what they did last game as well. They still took a risk. They picked them the Cassiopeia in the mid lane as a final pickup. So
but everything around it was safe.
Fine. Yeah, definitely. But even into a composition that could lock it down so easily, we're going to see something different and something similar at the same time from Huma. Hashtag HMA win if you think they're going to pull it to a Game 5, or hashtag CW win if you think they can actually close it out in Game 4 here in this best of 5 in the Challenger Finals here in the Berlin studios. We'll see what will happen as we head onto the Rift here for potentially the last time.
We thought that last time.
We did, and that was incorrect.
And we have double TP again with Corki versus LeBlanc in lane.
The quad TP.
This is like purely just between these two teams. It is so odd. Normally you lose a lot of kill pressure early on as to LeBlanc, and Corki normally in this lane matchup would also pick a heal. Because again, you gotta respect that burst that can come in from a LeBlanc, but we're running double TP, and it's not for Copenhagen Wolves side to push a side lane. Cadril just clearly heavily favors it, because we haven't seen him split push.
Nope.
Like, Gobro's done it a little bit, and obviously on LeBlanc he'll be able to do it even more because Corki cannot really follow him later on. But a lot of new things in this pick and ban phase.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of starting items, basically normal. Like
we got one thing normal there.
Yeah, one thing normal. So yeah, we'll see how this works out. We're not getting standard lane, so we are seeing a lane swap from Huma. So we'll have Holy Phoenix and Cass into the top side.
Huma is basically guessing that Copenhagen Wolves is going to swap anyway, because it's an Ezreal Alistar lane, which is such a defensive lane. So they're saying, okay, we haven't even invaded. We don't need to, because there's a higher chance Wolves are on top side because they want to go for the lane swap. Therefore, we will just swap with them. And then we're going to assume they're going to be on top side, and they're guessing correct. So this is really good for Huma. Getting the 2v2 lane with this Kalista Morgana.
And they both started the camp as well. So that is, neither team wanted to invade. Neither team tried to push the other off. That also meant that Gragas and Nautilus actually started on the red buff there rather than a small camp. And then Nautilus is going to TP down now that they know it's standard lanes.
Yeah, and this is again such an issue. You're gambling everything on it being a lane swap, so you start double jungling. Early level 2 on top side, that is good for Copenhagen Wolves. Have the relic stacks, of course, to use to get a bit of execute and get a fast push going on with Ezreal last hitting as well. But it's evenly matched now. But bot lane, when you lose that early teleport, it just makes it so much harder for you to trade, because if you lose your potion in these trades, well, Wolip can just recall and return, and he will just continue trying to trade with you, and you don't have that sustain. You end up losing quite a lot from it. So Wolip is definitely looking to be aggressive in this lane now.
Yeah, trying to deny some of this farm under tower, maybe from Wicked, but he dings level 2, so he's good to go. Taking a look at Keystones, Rudy actually went for Fervor over the Strength of the Ages, so going full into that carry. We'll see if he goes Devourer as well, but as you mentioned, champions like Deficio seems to be what all the cool kids are doing nowadays.
And if he goes Fervor, I definitely expect Devourer.
Yeah, I mean, Rudy has no interest in going any kind of tank in this game. He's like, no, I'm just going to try and carry this. Ooh.
He's going to have to try and survive with the Lamtress. That has a lot of damage onto Pinoy.
Morgana or Kalista is such a good lane against an Alistar as well, because even if he wants to combo aggressively, you have the Black Shield to block it. So you double range, you have push, you have CC, out trading Ezreal very effectively. And again, that's why it's so important for Huma to get these standard lanes with that 2v2 and why they blind swap it top. Blind swap top to match it. And Rudy is very happy with this start because he also gets a stack for himself.
Yes, and Godbro knows the importance, comes up to cover as well. Just makes sure that Ku couldn't even think twice. Godbro shoved that mid lane and roams up. Gets more damage down onto Cadril. He's had a lot of lane presence over Cadril in this beginning of this game. And these two players are typically not laning mid laners, if that makes sense. Like, they're not the likes of Perks, who is going to force you to trade. TP used bot lane from
big
God,
minion
bro.
stack, though. Like, he has to 100-0, and he's got Rudy as well. He's good to go. He hasn't been marked, but Wicked is out of mana. He does have flash, but this is a hard flash to make it happen. First blood goes over to Rudy. And was that actually a stack? Because I know he marked Kadra in the mid lane, but he may have swapped it to Wicked there. It looked like he got something from that.
Yep, he definitely swapped it over.
Yeah, just going to check it back on the second screen. All three of our eyes are just like,
yeah,
halfway through the fight.
Okie dokie.
Nice timing.
Great start for Rudy here. He gets early kill. He gets early stacks on this Kindred here. His team gets standard lane, so he's actually free to just farm because they don't really need his assistance. This was just even a luxury for him to get a gank in bottom lane. Gabbro using TP to go down. Khan's trying to stop the recall because now Holy Phoenix is back in lane. Holy Phoenix recalled because they're fighting bot side without jungler. I don't want to start pushing here because then we can't get ganked.
Sure.
Recall, go shop, get double longsword, and return to lane and play aggressive one more time. So Huma is in a fantastic position early on.
Yeah, well, it went for pickaxe as well very early. Wicked.
Why is Wicked mid lane?
I don't know. He tried to land the dredge line onto Godbro, but I mean, what are you really gonna do there?
Kadra also used his TP.
He's like,
wait, what? Oh, Kadra now coming into the mid lane. Frost bomb doesn't even kill the clone. A lot of strange things are happening here, gentlemen.
TP too. That's what I want to.
He wants the TP bot lane, obviously to catch the big wave.
Yeah, he did. Kadral TP bottom lane to catch the wave, and then Nautilus goes mid.
Oh, hello, Ku. What are you
goes
doing
into
in my
the
jungle today? Rudy flashes after. We'll pick up the kill on Ku there real quick. Kadral's chasing after, but he's out of mana, so we really can't put the hurt onto Kindred as they walk away. And that'll be 2 kills going onto Rudy at the start of this game, and this is going swimmingly for Kindred.
I mean, this is probably the best Kindred start you could ever hope for.
Yeah.
Early stacks, 2 early kills.
Yep.
He's just getting absolutely everything right now, and Ku with another super questionable invade.
Yep.
In there, like, his team is not in a position to assist him, and now Gabbro.
Kadral stayed around with
Rudy's
low mana,
here.
and Rudy will be coming in here. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the mark on him. It's on Gragas, but Godbro should be able to finish him off. One more auto attack. Oh, get him with the distortion. Takes tower shots from.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, he went back on the W.
Yeah, he got hit by both towers, so he got hit like 3-4 times.
3 shots in like 1 second.
Still worth it though for Huma, even though it's not great. It's still worth it. You get
Silver
an extra,
linings.
yeah, but you get an extra assist.
Yeah.
For
It's
Rudy.
still extra gold.
One more time, so you actually gain more from this.
And he gets the early Devourer, like a before 7-minute Devourer is really, really good.
And Godbro got back to shop earlier.
Yes. Right. Silver linings, good one.
Yeah.
No stress.
I don't know whether you could tell that was my sarcastic voice at the time. It does sound a lot like my normal voice.
Indeed.
I'm British. That kind of happens. I want to say there was like a window for Godbro actually to have just walked out of this.
Yeah.
It's like, look, he takes the first tower shot. We knows that he's going to take that next one. I think the
Not really
inner
sure
one,
how he could ever get out.
No, the inner one would have been.
Yeah. Problem is the pot got popped by Kadral, so it was one more auto attack that Godbro needed, and he couldn't get a range to hit him.
Get out.
Yeah, so I had to go down with Kadral, but that's something that that's a small thing though. Players do forget to pop potions like in trades like that, and that actually caused a kill on Godbro in that one because he didn't kill him with the initial auto. So always pop your potions if you have them, kids.
Let's see how Copenhagen Wolves react though to falling pretty far behind early on, and they don't really have an easy way out right now because there's no lane to gank for Ku, really to return anything. Rudy's insanely strong already, even though he's just started stacking his Devour with the early kills. And again, that 2v2 top, ganking a Morgana lane is so difficult. So there is no good lane really for Copenhagen Wolves to play around at this point.
Will Lips doing the old, I'll lose half my health to bait you into trading with me.
Oh, there happens to be a Kindred there and forced the flash from Wicked.
Traffic violation.
Yeah. He'll have to have to pay the fine on that one. Now, Holy Phoenix and the Cats will go back up to the top lane. It's also the first game in the series where Rudy has not opened the game with Hyatt's Rudy, so you know stuff is going to go down in this game.
It's serious now.
It's serious.
Something's hitting the fan.
Yeah, something is. Currently, Copenhagen Wolves' game plan.
Yeah, they put so much focus on that lane swap. We talked about the Ezreal pick and ban phase. Was like, this seems to be them saying we need to just have as safe as possible of a 2v2 lane. I still think Sivir could have been an option, but also definitely looking shaky And it's all due to Huma playing really well here early on and Rudy getting such a good start.
Indeed. Now top is being pushed in. In terms of CS, everything is pretty equal across the board apart from bot lane, which is the 1v1 lane with Whirlip and Wicked. Top lane is now being shoved in. Ku is again in the enemy jungle. Cadril is
you got it.
I got it. Cadril he's from the UK as well. It's not a very UK name, but they managed to take away the red buff. He was there for cover fire. Bot lane, Rudy, Whirlip are closing in behind Wicked. Now that underneath this tower, Lounge Respite is available. They should be able to pop him before that really becomes an issue.
He's knocked up.
Oh, no, he's good. And we'll get the slight healing off that, and we'll be able to take off the tower as well. So pretty smooth. In the top lane now, that was a good binding, unfollowed binding, but nice timing on the ultimate Unbreakable. Well, I feel like he could have held the binding for an extra second there on cast, knowing that NukeSlot hadn't popped his ultimate yet, but once he pops his ult, they're not going to kill him regardless.
And I think Cadril had just like 1 or 2 seconds left on his teleport when that dive happened bot lane. Otherwise, if him TPing in, he could have been able to save Wicked. Most likely, but again, Huma is just getting everything and they have full control. Copenhagen Wolves is going to have to just reach 1 item, honestly, and then try and just opt into forcing team fights with Alistar, Gragas, Nautilus, because like they want a team fight. Get Trinity Force completed, you know, get Iceborne Gauntlet for your Ezreal, and then try and create fights. Because the longer this laning phase is, the worse it almost is for them, because Huma will just keep getting further ahead and the Devour Kindred will just keep stacking.
And that's the thing, right? We were saying, like, if Huma fall behind, it's going to be tough to find the damage. Well, if they're ahead, they've got just a plethora of damage. Like, there's so much damage on this lineup while ahead.
And it's always the very interesting conversation. A lot of people go like, oh, there's no wave clear? Bad comp. I don't like it. There's no wave clear. I feel like as long as there's a trade-off for it, so like if you get winning lanes with low wave clear, but they are very strong lanes that can actually set up skirmishes and force fights and be very aggressive, obviously, you're never, ever aiming to fall behind them with that kind of comp, because then, yes, it looks awful. But as long as you can start snowballing early to mid-game, the comp will have a lot more power than maybe a Victor sitting mid lane just being like, I got wave clear, boys, you know, because he's not going to be as aggressive as LeBlanc.
Very true. And that LeBlanc has picked up Morella, so hitting that earlier item spike than Cadril, who's looking towards the Triforce, of course. In the jungle, Ku, I think, has picked up his Runic Echoes, so everything is just going as normal. He's not going for a crazy build, and yeah, that last one was debatable, right? Because, I don't know, I'm not sure if, like, going for that item build is, like, the most optimal play, especially with the way he was playing, but either way. Top lane, NukeSlot, again, there's the ultimate Unbreakable. A lot of Ren stacks, but once Alistar pops his ultimate, you just can't kill him at this stage in the game, really. Now,
there's been a few times where Copenhagen Wolves have been able to push top lane 2v2. And the way you opt out of this poor situation is once you push out your lane, you recall and you swap it around. Because you're now ahead of the play, because you're the first one to push out on recall.
Right.
And the Trundle down on the bottom side is not going to stop you from pushing into his tower. And you then commit to a play where Pinoy recalls, Sir NukeSlot recalls, they go bottom side, they get joined, you know, Cook joins with them, and you actually pressure in onto tower. And you start chipping way slowly on tower, and you just keep kind of swapping the lanes around, because you're always pushing first, because you are ahead of the play. They just keep doing the same, like being like, we recall, run back top. Recall, run back top. Recall, run back top. That just buys more and more time for Huma to play these lanes and bully them out. So I disagree with Copenhagen Wolves and the way they're playing here. I think you need to swap these lanes around way in advance.
Huma from this will take the dragon away. That will be the first one of the game. Plus that tower puts them at a pretty hefty advantage over the board. That is now Runan's Hurricane, picked up by Holy Phoenix. So already hitting these item spikes and maybe starting to look for those skirmishes.
And this stops Copenhagen Wolves from having the push advantage almost at any point now because of Hurricane. So suddenly that play I talked about before where they could push out top and then recall.
Ooh, fancy footwork. It doesn't have the damage.
Probably not going to happen anymore. Kalista can now very quickly catch up in how fast she pushes out. And
what?
Copenhagen Wolves. I was about to say, I was looking at Ku in the mid lane being like, and Ku's about to gank mid, but he was then kind of standing there. I was trying to set it up. But it didn't fit in time, and now we have this awkward moment of you guys laughing at me.
Yeah,
I'm laughing with you, Deficio.
Oh, flash top.
And engage top.
Knockback onto Cass here. And get the binding onto Pinoy. It's a lot of damage coming out from Holy Things. We'll drag him in with Fate's Call. Knock him back to zone away and Sir NukeSlot. Good flash in time just to ride the wave from the explosive cast out from Ku.
TP cancelled by Wicked during that. There was a lot thrown at that engagement from the Copenhagen Wolves. Flash from Sir Nukes a lot. Pinoy used his heal there as well. Ku used his flash. Wicked used his teleport. That's now going to allow Willip just to have pushed this wave all the way into the tower. Wicked will get 4 or 5 minions from that and will be able to hold on, but it's only kind of a minor gain here. And speaking of that Hurricane, it's not going to be the end of the world for Holy Phoenix when it comes to Kallista's damage output. You want to get that item anyway. You're not likely to be in a situation where you're going to be fighting too much, and we just saw the disengage come out. So Huma will be fine in this situation, just wave clearing with the Callista in a 2 versus 2.
There's a good pillar, but it's Corki in the mid lane. Very difficult to gank him as soon as he's got Valkyrie, which is level 2. So
probably try to interrupt it in case it came in earlier.
Yeah.
Pillar
Sure.
doesn't get it. Doesn't matter for them. Again, Huma is still getting a bit of damage on towers every time these waves comes in. Slowly, it's going down.
Alley-oop.
Very, very slowly.
He's going to get 1 auto.
For them. You also now,
on the wave.
if you are Huma at this point, you actually want to start putting this LeBlanc in side lane because she has so much kill pressure against anyone except for maybe the Corki.
Right.
You can also go for Hexdrinker as his next item. We even see the Hexdrinker sometimes before Trinity Force is completed against the LeBlanc matchup.
Yeah.
But you want to put that side lane pressure once this tower is down. So this is absolutely perfect for Huma, and also why the Hurricane is a good first item, because you just want to push, get tower, put the Callista mid lane now, reach the wave early, push it in with Hurricane, and put your LeBlanc with TP on side lane. And you have a 1-3-1, where only answer for Copenhagen Wolves is hard engage.
Yep.
They just tried top lane, wasted double TP, got nothing.
So that's the interesting thing about like best of 5 series, right? Because we had the best of 2s in Challenger, and Huma generally did pretty well, but it's in the best of 5 series where they kind of don't do very well at the start of them, like against Inspire, against Copenhagen Wolves here, but later the series goes on, like they get better and better, and it's weird though, because the wins they pick up are not clean. Like those are still super messy games. Like it comes from kills and fighting all the time and gradually getting ahead. Word randomly getting a triple kill and then 1v9ing, like that type of stuff. But it just seems to happen at the end of the game, and it's too much of a correlation for me to sit here and say it's not a thing.
I feel like it's something we see from some of the bottom EU teams as well, where whenever they do win, we kind of like, oh, that was a messy game.
Yeah.
You know, that was a very, very messy game. You know, Baron throw maybe happened, or weird dive, and then suddenly we go late game and the team managed to pull it out. So Huma and Copenhagen Wolves would probably fit into that category right now. No, but my point is that we haven't seen high enough level play from them to say these guys are going to go in and like just qualify super easy, because they're always going into promotion tournament. And then you gotta beat some of the bottom LCS teams to even make it in.
The funny thing is, though, you know, we spoke about like G2 and Team Dingtassi. You're going to hold that thought for a second, as Kadril has been caught in the mid lane. He'll be connecting the chains and he'll jump out. Have to use the package actually to get out alive. So just getting caught in the mid lane. But you know, we said that about G2, and then G2 got exceptionally better. Okay, yes, they brought in Emperor.
Kind of helped. They got a few Koreans.
Yeah, MVP week 1, etc. But like, yeah, you look at like Team Dingtassi EU. Got into the auto promotion, of course, so that was a little bit different. And then you look at their performance now as Splice, but we'll see how the teams do. Of course, they have to get through the promotion from no longer with auto promotion, so yeah, we'll see how they perform against what looks to be currently Rocket and Giants, etc.
Well, the thing about the current promotion tournament actual setup is, and this is something we were talking about. Oh, Pinoy's gone.
He had heal though, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I think he just didn't think he was going to die for and I didn't either.
And had Flash, by the looks of it. Is the best team should be the ones that get through the promotion tournament, because it's not just like, oh, you're in LCS now. It's you've got to beat the LCS teams, plus then if you lose the first one, then the best of the worst, quote unquote, is going to get through, because we have that third day where it's like an extra series.
Correct. Wicked now. He gets a Q onto Rudy. Meanwhile, Whirlup has been caught on the top side, but he's so tanky. And Godbro managed to get a snipe in the backside, and it's actually Rudy who picks up the kill. I think it was Wolf's Frenzy. Wolf just kind of came in there and bit him to death and got that kill.
On the backside? Oof.
Yeah, on his backside.
Ouch.
I'm glad you guys were talking over this, because just before it, I was about to say, you know, why doesn't Huma right now put LeBlanc side lane and then Trundle the other side lane, just play 1-3-1? Like, why the grouping mid? That makes it a bit easier for Copenhagen Wolves to defend and get a fight, but Copenhagen Wolves are very far behind, and Huma's been playing these fights extremely well, so Wicked goes down, Gabro pops him, jumps back out again, so they actually gain kills on this. even though it was a bit of a risky play because it actually allowed Copenhagen Wolves now to play a 5-on-5.
Yeah.
But Huma executed that super, super well, and they are just showing in this game they can just do almost anything.
TP from behind.
Here it comes. Out from Cage.
And another TP.
Yeah, out from Wicked as well. We'll see if they can get something out of this, but Ku doesn't land the E flash.
Gabro's still alive.
Low. Rudy also trying to back away. Everyone is so low from Huma. Everyone is at critical HP, but they're so good at long range just trying to run away. Apart from Morgana, she doesn't really have jumps, but Rudy and Godbro managed to survive. Ku almost picks up the kill there. So that was a 1-for-0, but that should have been way better from Copenhagen Wolves if they weren't running LeBlanc and Kindred.
I mean, it's one of those games for Copenhagen Wolves where everything where technically you were supposed to get something and do well, it just doesn't work for you because you have been set behind and the other team has flashes ready, or they are just escaping on such a low amount of HP. Like, that's one hit on Gabro and he's down. That's another kill then. But Huma managed to disengage and only Morgana goes down, but Wolves still pushing mid.
Yeah, missed the dance of arrows. He had to flash there.
Yeah, he did. But look, this is an inhibitor tower taking a lot of damage.
What's going on? It's like pushing into the game. Mid lane's being pushed in. Cass gets thrown into the meat grinder, and Copenhagen Wolves pick him up. Godbro almost drops. Cage flashes after him, lands the rocket. Cass is the only casualty so far, but this should be an inhib. In bottom lane, Williams is having a great time by himself. He's just pushing down the bottom tower.
Yeah, commit for inhib now because the tower's gone.
It has to go down. Like, Rudy and Holyfinks are trying to defend, though. And there is a lot of CC. They've got to be careful that they don't overchase. Bot lane just went down, and now Whirlup is looking towards the
TP to stop him.
No, they're just trying to stop those recalls. Whirlup, he's going onto those minions and pops the frozen domain.
Pretty slow,
Can he actually get this in time? He is one lonely Trundle against this inhibitor.
I think, let's see, Wolves are recalling now. Whirlup.
Thing is, he just sacks himself for it.
Yeah,
Whirlup for the
he will get it.
A good trade.
2 inhibs down at 20 minutes. Both teams just traded inhibs. Whirlup were pushing. Will go down in the end, but they might be able to get mid tower from this.
Yeah, Whirlup is still alive. Yeah, he just took a chunk out of Cajal. He's now out of mana and out of everything and out of resources. They will go back to
mid tower now
to try and delay them. That was 2 people to stop the Trundle. Mid tower just went down and got sieged in on the inhibitor, on the inner turret. I didn't see the setup to what started all that off and what was the catalyst, but that was weird.
We had the double TP mid.
Yeah.
Into the 1 kill where everyone from Huma, except for the Morgana, escaped, but they had to obviously recall very late. Wolves just went straight mid lane. Took 2 towers early. Keep in mind how weak these tier 2, tier 3 towers are on this patch here. I mean, that's almost the big one, not even the death timers. It's how weak the towers are, how fast you can just burn through them with 5 man. All the way into inhib. Whirlup were pushing at the same time.
Cass died during this as well. Like, this was as we were in the replay.
It pushed from outer turret to inhibitor.
They get all of this because, as you're saying here, it's the recalls had to come through. This is a very squishy tower. It dies, and from here, Cass gets caught at some point as they push up to the inhibitor tower. Like, here they know that they're fine. And then the Wolves, how do they catch Cass? It's Cass goes in for the ult, gets knocked back.
Trying to buy time.
Yeah, just trying to buy time.
All they're doing now is just trying to buy time for Whirlup. He's calling that he can get tower, maybe even more, if they can just keep them here. And because we're still so early in the game, taking out his inhib takes quite a lot of time for Copenhagen Wolves. You can burn the towers, but inhib,
they stop backing
takes a bit more time. Well, Wicked was like, I can maybe recall and go back in time, but then they're getting threatened by Huma every single time. So the call is constantly like, no, come back, we need you as the front line. And then he's like, no, I need to recall. And you have like this weird conversation going on. In the end, trade inhibs. TP is ready for Wicked soon, so he can sit there and prevent the Baron from being started. Also, again, we are so early in the game, the Baron is not really an option. But man, a lot of towers suddenly going down. And now we see the 1-3-1 we talked about earlier. I talked about earlier. They didn't.
Oh, okay.
They didn't. I was saving you guys because when I said they shoot 1-3-1, Huma went mid and got 2 kills. So like I was basically praising you guys.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Clearly I was wrong because they got 2 kills.
Back
mid.
to a regular challenger series.
Yes,
just
what?
the 2 of
I
us.
praised you. That was positive.
It's all right, Deficio. We love having you with us on our cast on Challenger.
Add some Danish spice.
It does. We can also make
fun of again. I can't really hear it when you talk.
We get to make fun of you with like pictures, but God, bro, he's trying to get out of here.
Blocks it. Look, he's actually moving it back and forth to try and block the rockets. That was next level usage of the mirror image clone from Godbro.
Oh, Pinoy. Ulti.
Oh.
Yeah, a call was made and it was like, banana. And then he jumped back to tower.
Yeah. We love you really, Deficio.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't.
I'd have set you guys
through
up
it.
there, you know, you were gonna look like the great guys, and then I made the bad call, and then you guys get angry at me.
It didn't sound that way.
Well, I know, it actually sounded like,
we're getting
thinking
thrown
back,
out
it sounds
first,
really
but
weird.
We're going for the long game. We just jump to conclusions. I apologize.
It's okay, I apologize as well, because
Alright.
it sounded wrong.
God.
Anyone
More
want to
friendly.
cry? as well
Yeah,
here,
have
or-
you got like, is there anything?
Oh yeah, let me just start crying like right now. Yeah.
Sated Devourer has been
Not
completed
even
for a
any
while.
tears in this game.
No, I just jumped to the first thing I saw that was slightly
Back on
useful
topic.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rudy's going to have that late game damage that you were talking about, Deficio.
Yeah, at the start of the game, I remember. All those stats.
Do you remember when he spoke? Yeah.
I did, yeah.
30 seconds until Dragon. We can remember that in 35 that I
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah,
Yes,
you get that.
I
one.
talked about that.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about the dragon?
We're setting up Vision currently, and Godbro, you know, he's taking away these pinks. But both of the teams are just completely backed up. Like, both teams, because there's inhibitors down, it's like, let's just clear out these minion waves, let's take everything
It's
into the
extra
jungle.
farm.
Yeah, look, there's like a Grump and Krugs alive on the map currently, and a Rift Scuttler. Like, they've just been sweeping those jungles. Godpro trying to snipe someone off, and the dragon has now spawned, which is what you were talking about just before. Ku gets binded over the wall. He actually can't go in. That was a great binding out from Cass because he physically couldn't move out of the binding.
Well, maybe that was good for Ku, so he didn't
That's
actually
true, so
try
he
and
didn't
go
jump in and die.
Yeah. Because Wicked was still trying to push
Yeah,
on
Cass is like, I got you, bro. Don't worry.
I ain't got anything on that.
No,
we've seen
but
so
it was your
many-
dragon stress.
I
man.
know,
It
I'm
was.
sorry. We've seen so many like mistakes around objectives that I'm just like watching with bated breath now, like seeing who's gonna
jump in.
Yeah, exactly. Like as soon as somebody starts
It's the
Baron,
big worm. That's
I
the
know,
guy.
right?
You know, that's when we get close to him, we start getting the weird calls.
If somebody starts it without properly setting up for it, I'm just gonna.
Look, they're clearing out wards. Don't tilt just yet, Stress. I think
No.
we've still got time. They're playing it right correctly, and that will be the Sentinel going down. So everything's fine.
Oh, the mic.
Everything's not fine. Rudy
Rudy?
may be caught in the top lane. He'll have to flash immediately. The barrel, I think he just assumed it was going to be explosive cast, even though it's on cooldown. He was like, gotta get out. Barrel roll.
The respect flash. And oh, nice binding.
Yeah, Rudy jumps forwards there. There's another barrel roll. Top tower will be falling, so Cass should probably back away here.
Not worth fighting
Jumps
over.
in. There's a two-shot barrage coming in. That binding literally went through the entire team. Bot lane, both the top lanes still going toe-to-toe, but they do have
Body slam
teleports,
flash?
so they can get in here. Body slam flash is available. The ultimate's on a couple-second cooldown. He's waiting for that to go in.
Ah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming up now. Okay.
There we go.
Now
He
we
has it
may
ready.
be looking to go.
But Black Shield should be up as well now for
Yeah.
the Morgana, so this is kind of tricky. Wicked is trading bot side with Whirlit, but both of them are... Wicked is definitely looking to TP up here if he can, but he can't because of Trun.
Tower's being sieged in, and Ku just land the E. That's going to be ultimate pop by Cass. We might see a team fight here. Good disengage onto Holy Phoenix. Godbro's still jumping forwards. That was just the clone. Rudy is still putting down the damage. Cass is looking to be the front line, and Pinoy will jump in aggressively. Lamb's Respite. Everyone's going to be dropping low. We'll have to see who will go down as soon as this gets procced off. Pinoy trying to throw out another couple Qs, but he's now out of mana. This team fight has gone on for so long. Holy Phoenix doesn't connect the Pierce, and Pinoy just trying to waste some time as the Rend will pick up the kill. Bot lane was being shoved in, is now backing away. 3-for-0 over to Huma.
No real Baron chance though with how low health they are. They're probably just going to look for mid lane with the stack. They got
Nukesalot?
just killed Nukesalot.
Now they definitely have a chance.
yeah.
Because Wicked is still being kept busy.
Yeah.
Got the TP, they've got Wurb to tank.
Yeah, Willem is coming in to tank here. Like, this is basically Copenhagen Wolves taking a 4v4. And they're like, okay, we got double AD carry for tower. They body slam forward. Ku doesn't manage to hit anyone, and then Huma can re-engage onto the fight with the Kalista getting so much time to land all the stacks she needed, and things are definitely looking bad for Copenhagen Wolves. And Huma, Baron, another one team fight, stronger split pusher.
Yep.
Have everything set up for them right now.
Like, everything's gone so well for them, even from, like, minute one. Like, Rudy was constantly picking up kills. It's now 4-0-4. Like, his KDA is not found. Like, you look at the rest of the team as well. Just been doing so well in every single lane. Like, mid lane's been picking up kills. Like, everyone's just going so well for Huma, and we didn't really see that in any of the other games.
Like, so they want to just get tower here, and Ku's like, oh, maybe I can get Morgana and knock her back, but also want to zone away. But suddenly they're caught on the tower now, and the front line goes down with Ku so easily, and Wolves couldn't really commit because they were both killing tower and fighting at the same time, and that's just a perfect setup now for Huma. also with the Kindred ulti. And meanwhile, on the bottom side, if you look at the minimap, Trundle is just destroying the Nautilus, not killing him, but pushing him back every single time.
And there, it's like Pinoy is fighting inside the ulti against the Kalista, who's just like stacking up spears into him. It's like he's asking to get dropped low and then get rendered at the end.
That's actually so good. Like, actually fighting inside there is so bad for Copenhagen Wolves.
Exactly.
Kalista can just pop you at the end, yeah.
Yeah, just like stack up those spears, grab the rend. Didn't happen exactly that way in that fight, but
like, yeah, it's always like people take a timeout and then it's just like, use burst instantly. And when you have like LeBlanc and then Kalista, it's really good. But so currently on that Baron power play, 1,000 gold advantage. It should be opening up here as mid tower will go down. But problem is, it won't be a massive power play because there's actually not that many objectives on the board right now. There's a mid turret, there's a top turret, and then where do you go? So you kind of cap out at a certain point.
Yeah, and with Gabbro using his TP, he is sticking with his team. I still think he could actually just go top here and push it in. You have Morgana to avoid the hard engage from Copenhagen Wolves, and by you pushing in all 3 lanes here with Baron minions, you don't opt into this potential 5-on-5. That is basically the only way back for Copenhagen Wolves. It's like a 5-on-5 team fight, they win. So if you just keep playing split, there's really nothing Wolves can do. But this top lane is now pushing towards Huma. So Gabor should have just taken that on his way. Pushed it in, followed it down with the Baron buff minions, and then suddenly you would have all 3 lanes pushing in.
And with only 40 seconds left, Will, if he wants to come bottom lane, but he keeps seeing Kadril coming down, angling towards the lane, means he has to back away, kind of reset himself. This Baron's going to expire really without anything being taken for Huma.
This top lane is the main thing, really.
Yeah.
Kid not being pushed in.
Or they can commit for Baron, for bot inhib. Can also commit for the Baron, which is not even there. It would look kind of weird.
The thing is, like, look how late this is. They're going to not even catch the next wave with this Baron buff. So now they're pushing up unassisted without the Baron, relying on this fight. Wicked's not taking too much until now.
No, this inhib is going down very quickly. Cass is getting poked out of the fight, though. He really can't jump into the team anymore. You just have flash. That will be the ultimate coming through, and Huma just needs to get out now. They just need to disengage. Big ultimate out from Ku, who is that really knock into kill range. Rudy's down there. I think he may go down. Cass is going to get dragged to safety. A fatal call from Holy Phoenix. That was the depth charge landing. Rudy's still trying to get away. Needs to get the dance of arrows over terrain to open up some distance. He just managed to make it happen. Godbro jumps back to the distortion pad, so the headbutt doesn't land in from Nuxalot. And all from that, Huma do get a successful disengage.
And the same thing for Copenhagen Wolves when they feel like they have a chance to get a fight. Oh, they're flashing over.
Nuxalot over the wall, the one-man army. We've seen it in the series before. This time around, they've got Trundle in the mid lane. He's just taken towers. Copenhagen Wolves, okay, great. You managed to pick up the dragon, but you may actually just lose your middle inhibitor tower off of it.
From Wicked. Oh, he's going to be able to deny, and that's going to be the end of that push. But it was a nice little push from Whirlib. They traded the dragon in favor of a mid lane tower. Big stack top needs to be absorbed. It's going to be Godpro that goes up and gets that. He has his teleport available anyway, but it's backing time for Huma. They do not want to do anything out on the map for the next 30 seconds.
Second time in this game, though, where we see Wolves have a potential chance to take that big 5-on-5 team fight, but great disengage from Huma, using Kalista ulti, using Black Shield and everything. And also like Whirlib, every time there's a fight breaking out and he's like, oh, we're disengaging, he will instantly run straight to your lane and start pushing in minions. And that's the way his way of kind of drawing you towards him. A lot of other people is like trying to run with the team and put up pillars for them. No, he just instant goes to split push. Straight away. And that's what has hurt Copenhagen Wolves quite a bit, because they have been chasing for these fights, and then he's just randomly there taking 2 towers.
And honestly, that was kind of the winning set of plays for Huma against Inspire, was Whirlib going screw this game on split pushing for like 30 minutes. And it's just like, well, you guys can have that fight. I'm going to get more over here because I'm on champions that can do that. And that's honestly been one of the biggest reasons of why Huma are in this position, is because Whirlib, his solo decision-making about when to split is generally very good on champions that facilitate that.
Very true. And in the bot lane, Cass has now picked up a banner of commands to try and control these sideways. So next time we have that situation, pick onto Nuxalot. He's going to have to pop the ultimate. That's fairly big with Baron up in, it should be back up in 90 seconds, but top tower's now being sieged in. Not a lot they can do here.
And there's really been no pre-setup for Copenhagen Wolves in terms of defending in their own jungle, with like some wards Wicked could potentially TP on. He obviously doesn't have it now, but even before that, if you know the enemy team is going to have a strong split push and they are in the lead and have the map control, you know, when you are there just catching a wave, put a ward in your jungle. Because it can be the difference. If you get a good TP ward for Wicked, that's how you start the fight. Instead of, because every time Wolves have been fighting now, they've been running headfirst towards Huma. And it's been easy for Huma to just disengage every time. There's not been that TP flank that we expect to see from a Nautilus.
Cast hasn't used this banner in a while. Like, he's got it. He could be throwing it in a lane, but he's like, nah, you know what, I'm alright.
Alright, Werlib's actually being chased in here, so this will be a 2 versus 1. I don't think they can pick up the kill. Godbro is trying to get some chunk damage onto these players, but doesn't quite make it happen. And now Corki has to go back to the rest of the team, otherwise they literally can't defend his push as the next minion wave comes in. Werlib's still very healthy, so he'll continue pushing. He's actually heading up to the team now. I think he's looking for the red buff.
Godbro went mid, trying to split in one of the other lanes.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that's what you gotta keep doing. Don't try 4v4 into a tower. Just keep using the fact that LeBlanc can always push lane first, and then she can move around. And when someone is back defending on it, or if Copenhagen Wolves is too late to react, suddenly you move LeBlanc back, and she can actually get damage on tower, and you just slowly grind it down. But Baron is alive now, so that's gonna be the big one. It's been a tricky objective for these teams before.
Ah, come on, there's a Callista now.
I mean, sure, I mean,
say it's
killing the Baron is fine. It's more when to actually finish it and when to disengage. I like this.
He's being called out. He pops his ultimate. Werlib TPs into the fight. He only just went back as well. Holy Phoenix, he's got the death charge on him, but that instantly gets cleansed out. Wicked's now being chased down, but that red buff will slow him down. Get through all of those tanky stats. Tries to dredge line back to the tower, but he can't keep his ally alive. Triple kill in for Holy Phoenix. Looking for another onto Kajol. That will force his flash. That top tower should be going down. Huma, the Summoner's Rift is their oyster. They can go for this top tower. They can go for Baron. They can do whatever they want.
They could even maybe look to end this with these death timers plus super minions coming in through bottom lane. They're going to get a second inhib here. They should have a big enough wave to do it.
Yeah, this is a big minion wave, and Wicked is going to try and zone them away. Kajol is still alive as well. They could be able to mount a defense. Not if Wicked instantly gets bound. He's going to have to flash over the traffic cone. Godbro, he bursts down Kajol. The Ignite is ticking, but he's able to get onto the spawn pad just in time. Huma, their push has been repelled, so they'll go towards the Baron.
And Copenhagen Wolves, they need to follow here and see if they can delay this Baron, get everyone alive, and then because there's so many low members of Huma, if they recall, let's see if they can get something here.
Bind onto Wicked. He may be burnt down before the team gets here. Godbro is going to be walking him out of this fight. Werlib comes in from behind. It's able to collapse onto him. That's a 60-second death timer. And they are very low. Starting Baron could be very risky. Rudy is at critical HP. Werlib is at 50%, and he's tanking the Baron. Meanwhile, Godbro just assassinated Kajol, and they'll force out another fight. Ku will knock out Rudy out of his ultimate, but he jumps right back in with the Dance of Arrows. He tries to flash on top of Rudy and pick up the kill, but that's not going to happen. Nukeslot also gets called out. Panoy needs to go back to base because there are super minions knocking on the front door. I think this is going to be the game here, ladies and gentlemen. Huma should be able to push in for the win. Copenhagen Wolves walk in 1 by 1, 2 by 2, just like Noah's Ark.
And there's no hurrah for the Wolves, at least at the end of this. It's all going to be down on Huma's path because they're about to even this series up 2 games to 2.
Minions are flooding in. This will be the Nexus going down, evening up the series, and this will be going to Game 5.
I'm pretty sure no one is walking in 1 by 1 with Noah's Ark. It's always 2 by 2. You said 1 by 1 and then 2 by 2 after.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, Paul. I don't know about that one.
I was all setting up stress for the follow-up line. That's what I said.
Well, Huma didn't even stop the Baron.
No, they didn't.
They just walked through the Baron. Wolves ran to it, and they were like, well, we want to fight you anyway.
It's one way of not throwing.
Jumped them instantly, killed them a few times. Wolves then in the end were like, oh, we got to stop the recalls. And then kind of went a little bit too ham on doing that. And honestly, Huma in this game, getting standard lanes were just in full control. I don't think Wolves had a goal lead at any point in this game.
And it also helped at the end when Wicked just kind of teleported in and just gave them a kill, and that meant it was a 4v5. And that's actually a recurring theme now, like Wicked teleporting in and insta-dying.
But while Wolves maybe weren't in control in most points of the game, there was that moment where they were pushing mid inhib after the fight they won, and it was all on Werlib getting bot inhib in trade for it. Because I feel like if that hadn't have happened, Huma probably would have started losing their grasp on the game. They lost a lot off that push in favor of the Wolves. So there was a tipping point that Werlib goes, you know what? I'm holding us in this. I'm holding us where we are. Trade the inhibs.
We just have to question all the way back in the pick and ban phase, leaving that Kalista open.
Yeah.
And then first picking the Gragas. Obviously, Gragas had been a great pick, but why not? I would rather give over Braum then, honestly.
Very true. You can see Huma right there managing to draw it to
very
this
quickly.
final
Now it's
game.
us.
Yeah, and now it's us. But yeah, going to a 5th game. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. Like coming into game 3, I literally thought that was just going to be the end right there. But Huma in these long series somehow always managed to take it to that 5th game and actually hold on. So I don't know what it is. But Huma, they do something.
And now you have the problem, right? Going into game 5, where it went from us saying, oh, Copenhagen also 2-0, and that second game they won where Huma was so far ahead, it was like, this should be it, right? I mean, mentally, Copenhagen Wolves are so far ahead of Huma right now.
Maybe
but now
mentally clocked out as well. That's kind of what it felt
maybe,
like.
but now it's completely turned around because Huna has just won 2 games in a row.
That's true. Well, it's all come down to game 5 between Huma and the Copenhagen Wolves. We'll be back with the deciding game in just a couple minutes.